taking a look at two different fake Fenders today. It seems to me like the fake Fender thing is really taking off. A lot of people have been responding to that, sending me pictures of guitars that might be fake. And I've got a couple here for you that I think are fake. I wanted to take a look at here. One of them I actually feel kind of really bad about. This first one here, this is from Adam, and he says this. Let me find it real quick. He says, hey, a buddy of mine just bought his Strat and doesn't know if it's a real or if it's fake. I'm going to send you some pics. Can you tell me if it's fake or real? So let's look at this here. And I've got some up close pictures here, a little bit better than this one, but that's it just from the Facebook message. And let's pull it up in here. So let's go through these kind of one at a time, and we'll just kind of dig through each thing here. So here's the headstock. Just kind of go in slowly here, give you a chance to get a good look at each thing in here. Yeah, there's the body. Another picture of the headstock. The neck plate there. Full body. And that's it. Not many pictures, but these are just kind of the things that I've determined are wrong with this guitar. That it just to me, I can just tell that this is not a real Fender. I feel really bad for somebody. This is the reason why I kind of make these videos, is because somebody bought this guitar thinking that it was a real, United States or USA made Fender. By the way, I'm not saying that it has to be an American made guitar in order to be a good guitar. I'm just saying if you're buying something thinking that it is, you're paying good money for that, and it's not. That's really, really unfortunate. So I feel bad for the person that bought this guitar. I don't know how much they paid for it, but this is not a legit American Fender Stratocaster. Let's take a look at it. First off, on the headstock here, this whole thing just kind of looks a little off to me. I think this is a small headstock, the small version of the headstock, but it has like the large headstock logo on here. So right off the bat, that doesn't really look right. Plus the sizing of it just doesn't fit all in here correctly. It just looks really off. You can tell that it is a water slide, or this one is actually probably not even a water slide, because all of this is really fuzzy right here. My guess is that this is probably has been a sticker, like you print it off on your printer and then put it on there. That's just my guess though. Obviously it's trying to be vintage, back, the bigger headstock. It still has with the synchronized tremolo with the patent number on here. The next pick here looks to me like it does have Fender saddles or something similar. And I don't know, it's hard to tell from this picture, but some things on here look nice. These pickups, I can tell like they're different kind of, maybe I'm just seeing things, but it looks like they might be at different heights here, which would be indicative of a nicer guitar perhaps, or maybe even a vintage guitar. And another picture of the logo here. You can really see that. The truss rod hole right here, there is no walnut on here. On an American made Fender Stratocaster, there's going to be a walnut surround here at the opening for the truss rod hole, and there is not. Let's see, the neck plate here on the back, I've seen these for sale different places on eBay, or different places around that'll sell a Fender neck plate that says Corona, California. However, this one is, if you've seen like a real one, it seems like they're not etched in as much as this one is, or as much as like the fake ones are. These are just kind of like etched in there, and it seems like the ones on a real Fender aren't as deep of grooves or something. I can't really put my finger on it, but this just doesn't look quite right. I know that's not even That's like, you know, I've said that in a few videos, and like, this doesn't look right. I don't know what to tell you other than sometimes when you've messed around with something enough times, you can kind of tell something is off. And it kind of goes back to that old adage that they say that that like the FBI, I guess it's the FBI that would do this. I don't know, but whatever government agency that looks into counterfeit money, like bills, they don't train them necessarily on all of the ways to counterfeit, but you get really familiar with the real thing. So they'll like spend a lot of time playing with real bills and looking at real bills and finding all the details on those and getting really familiar with the real thing. And then when they come across a fake, it's really easy to spot. It just sometimes doesn't feel right or doesn't look right. And this is the case for here. This neck plate doesn't look right to me. Maybe wrong, I don't know. And then if you look here, these dots here, again, this is not an end-all be-all way to spot a fake, but because some years of Fender Stratocasters, these dots were wide apart like this, but usually like this dot would be like right here, and this one would be like right here on a Fender. Again, that's not the only issue, but it is an issue. Also, it seems to me like this, you can really see it here, that this what is that called? String tree right there is a little off. Like it should be up a little bit further up here, and perhaps maybe it doesn't seem like quite right there. It's a little too close to the truss rod. So I'm gonna say that this guitar here is a fake, and I feel bad for the person that bought this thing. I don't know how much they spent, but whatever it was not for the guitar that you were thinking that it was for. So I feel bad about that. Okay, I've got another one here for you, and this one is, I think, more of an interesting guitar. Actually, I'm kind of saving the best for second. So I got this text, lots of pictures on here, and let's see here. So this is from Ricky, and Ricky says, "Hey, can I send you pictures of Fender Strat that I acquired? I'm not sure if it's legit. Owner said he did not know much about it, but I bought it for." And I said, of course. He said he paid $100 or $400 Canadian, and so he sent me some pics. And let me just scroll through, and then I'll show you the other ones a little bit more. This one is an interesting guitar because I think that there's, well, I'll get into it as we go. Okay, let's look at the pictures of this, and then we'll talk about them individually here. Let me find the first one here. All right, so right off the bat, here's the headstock, and the first thing that I notice is this truss rod cover again. This is probably, honestly, one of the easiest ways to see if it's an American-made guitar or not, is the American-made truss rod cover, or the holes here are made out of walnut, and they're not made out of plastic. This is made out of plastic. There's actually no reason for it. It doesn't make the guitar better or worse. That's just the material that they use. And this is what the made in Mexico Fenders do. So that's the first thing that I'm thinking is this truss rod hole doesn't quite make sense. The other thing on this one is, like, everything looks good on this guitar except for made in USA. Like, I don't know about you, but doesn't it just seem like that's out of place? Like this, everything is balanced, everything is here, and then made in USA right there. I've tried to look on to find another guitar, and there may be one out there, I don't know, but to find another guitar that has made in USA right here in this spot, especially with the synchronized tremolo and the patent number underneath here, just seems like a weird place to put it. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. And it's got original contour body. Next thing to it, again, here's just another close-up of that. Also, the made in USA is a little bit thicker than the Stratocaster, which seems like it wouldn't be a thicker font, but I don't know, it's possible. This actually, the neck looks pretty cool. It's got like some really cool wood grain in here. And then here's just another picture of the neck. Like I said, there's a lot of pictures here. Obviously, this guitar has been worn. You know, there's a lot of damage along here, and it to me has been obviously relic, not a particular good relic necessarily. Like, and I probably need to make a video on relic guitars at some point, but you can see, like, you know, the relicing is when, you know, you're playing guitar and you know, you bang it and it gets a ding, and you know, you're playing on it at a certain spot enough over many years, it starts to wear in certain spots. So that's how you should fake a relic guitar, is emulate actual wear and tear. This one looks like it's got it's just beat up all around here. So it's like literally like the entire, it would be impossible to beat up the entire guitar. I mean, even every point on here is ground up somewhere. Even along the tuners, there's, you know, like the tuners would get in the way of getting it hit all over the place. So it's got a bad relic job, but that doesn't mean it's fake. But typically people don't, I don't know, do bad relic jobs on American made Fenders. I don't know. And then here's more of the relic job here. It's just worn to death. I mean, there's so much worn in here that I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. To me, it doesn't look really real. It just, unless somebody just left this outside on a, I don't know, gravel parking lot for a while or something. I don't know how you would get this much wear on here. The saddles, these look like bent saddles on here, so those look legit. And there's nothing else that would say it's not legit so far. But another picture of that. Okay, this was the other thing that I've never seen this, and you guys might be able to help me on this, but I've never seen a guitar with a truss rod adjustment in the heel and in the neck. It seems to me like it's either one or the other, and I even tried to Google, neck with truss rod adjustment in heel and neck, and I couldn't come up with any. So obviously they exist, but I've never seen that on a guitar, which seems really strange to me. It might just be me though. This all looks great back here. No problem there. It does look a little, I just noticed that does seem like a little thin for an American tremolo there. Usually this is a little bit thicker here for an American. It's just a little bit more weight to it. Can't really see the neck plate, so I can't really tell anything there. And then it does on the back of the neck, it's got Fender Custom Shop. I just doubt that this is a Fender Custom Shop. I really do. Also notice that there's no serial number anywhere on this guitar. So not on the front of the neck, not on the back of the neck, not on the neck plate. There's not a serial number, which to me is a huge red flag. Couple things here, getting to the dots here. These dots look legit. That looks correct to me. See how they're a little bit closer than our previous guitar we looked at. And then this to me was a big giveaway here, is it's got extra set of screw holes where the neck was at. And I think that, the only reason you're going to have two sets of screw holes is if this guitar neck has been on more than one guitar. So I'll get to that in a second. So here, obviously, these screw holes, if this was the original body, they're going to be the same. They're going to be the same neck, the same holes. So that's not quite right. So, so this body is a different body than it originally had on that neck. And then the wiring in here. Yeah, I mean, these are good pots. These are the larger pots. I can't tell if they're CTS or what they are necessarily. This switch is not an American switch. I can tell you that. This is an import switch. So it's got that going for it. And maybe I can get a better picture of the. Looks like it says Fender here somewhere, but I can't tell what it's making out there. But I can't see the serial number on it. Man, I wonder. I just can't make it out what that's saying. I think this guitar, what this is, after looking at all of this, let me find a bigger picture of it so we can just throw it up and talk about it. They have a full body picture? Come on. All these pictures, none of them. let's just do this. I think that this guitar is some sort of import, you know, like a Squire or something like that for the body, and then the neck is a made in Mexico Fender Stratocaster neck. So this was a neck that somebody got and put it on this other guitar, and then decided to put made in USA on it. So unfortunately, I don't think it's a legit American made Fender, even though it might partly be a legit Mexican made Fender. But like I said, you know, it's not necessarily even mean it's a bad quality guitar. And you know, it's like this. If I took a Squire guitar and took a Squire Bullet and paid, you know, $100 for it somewhere on Craigslist or whatever, and I put a Fender logo on it, that's a fake Fender. In the same way, if I took a custom shop Fender Stratocaster that cost, I don't know how much they cost these days, but $3,000 or whatever the case is, and I rubbed off the logo and put Squire on it, that's a fake Squire as well. So I'm not trying to complain or say, you know, necessarily one thing is better than the other or whatever the case is, but this is counterfeit. You're talking about counterfeiting something, and this is to me a counterfeit guitar. So I think that, you know, this looks very similar. I've got a Mexican back there. It looks, even the headstock looks similar to this. I think that it just is a different logo on there. Might even be just this made in the USA added on there, and that's what we have there. So what do you guys think? Are those both fakes, or am I way off? I have no idea. Hopefully that this video is able to serve the guitar community and helping to identify fakes. I feel really bad that both of these guitars were sent to me that were purchased. I will say though that this guitar here, this most recent one, is, it actually, I mean, the Relic job I could do without, but for $400, that's what, 400 Canadian. It's probably a Mexican, and that might be kind of the going price for it as well. Also, that leads me, I mean, $400, you're going to spend a lot more money than $400. So, you know, if you find a guitar for sale for $400 that looks apparently to be a vintage, you know, trying to be a vintage Relic guitar, it's probably too good to be true. Anyway, Kennis Russell out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, support me on Patreon at patreon.com/KennisRussell. And if nothing else, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this. Kennis Russell out, and I'll see you in another video.